Just let go. I promise you, if you let go of the outcome, if you let go of that person you feel attached to, if you let go of what other people think, you will develop more magnetic energy, you will enjoy the process more, and you'll find that things that you want in your life just flow effortlessly into your life. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that step by step. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness and raise their vibration by making spirituality both practical and relatable. Now, the key to understanding letting go in general is that the ego has a desperate desire for certainty. So what the ego wants to do is the ego clings to different things in hopes that that certainty stays. The ego will cling to trying to control the outcome of things, because then when it controls the outcome, it feels certain of what's going to happen. It feels confident in being able to predict what will happen. The ego may be tied to a specific person because it identifies with that person, and also it feels comfortable with that person, or the ego identifies with the validation of other people. These are the three most common things people tend to be attached to. And when we are attached to those things, what we are doing is we are creating so much resistance. And think about all those things too. This is something I just realized. With each of those three things, when we are attached to them, we are then becoming the cameo in other people's movies. Except for maybe control. Depending on how we look at it. Maybe we're being like the dictator director or something like that. But if we are caring what other people think and we're attached to it, we're not really being our true selves. We're not really being authentic. We're looking for validation outside of us. If we are attached to a specific person, then we are the cameo in their movie. We are playing to their frame, and that is less attractive. So the key to understanding letting go is that when you let go, you allow in something even more amazing than what the ego can actually imagine. Anytime I've let go, I am surprised by how magical things happen when I just let go. I've let go of what other people think, and I've already told you guys the story of that like a million times. I let go of what other people think when I was making YouTube videos, and then I had a huge explosion of growth. I was realizing I was trying to protect, this happens a lot too, just in general. I'll talk a little bit about this too. When people start to do something and they become in the habitual autopilot mind with it, and they start to attribute some type of positive emotion from it. For example, I was making YouTube videos and I was like, oh, I'm getting rewarded for this willpower. There's a point when I was making videos because it was just my passion and I wanted to spread the message. There becomes a point when then you go into defense mode. I went into a defense mode where I had to defend my status in a way. I didn't want to lose everything I created, so I had to continue that momentum of making daily videos. I was attached to a perspective, to that label, to that story I was telling myself. And because of that, I then went into self-preservation mode, which then is not as contagious energy, which is not as expansive growth. So one of the things you have to become aware of as well is, why are you being attached? I was attached out of fear versus anything else. And when I let that go, guess what happened? Floods and floods of me not caring what other people think, but floods of people came in, even though I was being a little bit more triggering, or I was saying more esoteric things. But anytime I have let go, it has then allowed something even more amazing to come into my life. And I've seen this happen with so many people. There's so many people as well that I've talked to that I remember I used to work at Nordstrom's, and I worked with somebody that was trying to get their ex back, and I kept telling them, if you keep wanting, you keep chasing them, it is implying that they are running away. If you were to actually let go of them, then you would find that the energy dynamic would switch. Think about it, when it comes to another person, if you're focused on that other person, you are constantly sending them energy. It's an energetic thing. We all have energetic bodies. We have energy. It's a real thing, even though we don't see it with our eyes. So if you are sending someone else energy, they are in their house right now. They're not even around you, but they can feel your energy there with them. Well, guess what? Why would they want to come back to you if you're still with them? You're still sending them energy. They're still feeling it. They're like, man, I just need some space, but I still can't have this space because this person's always thinking about me. They don't know that consciously, of course. You see, so there's a different dynamic here that sometimes we're not aware of. They can feel your energy. And then what happens, that friend that I used to work with, I said, hey, go, it's the most traditional advice. Go hang out with friends. And think about this. When someone's afraid of losing someone else, you want to know what people are really afraid to lose? Meaning. Because other people to us mean something. And when we lose someone, we feel like we lost that meaning. And a lot of times it also has a story with it. A story about that person, how we're meant to be, and all of these things. When you let go of that story, when you let go of that meaning, what you then do is you create new meaning. You create meaning with your friends that maybe you lost meaning with, lost connection with. Maybe you find new meaning within yourself. You focus on your own energy. You focus on doing what you love. You take it as a time to do your own self-work. You see, then you create new meaning, and then you have this magnetic energy about you. They could feel that the energy is off of them, and then they come back to you. So it's a very interesting dynamic of the way it works, but I'm telling you, let go. And now when I say let go, the thing is people go, okay, Aaron, I'm going to let go, but you're telling me they're going to come for me, right? You're going to tell me, okay, I'm going to let go, but you're going to tell me, right? They're going to come to me. No, you're not letting go so that they come back to you. You're letting go because it is who you are. You are already whole and complete. You're letting go because it's an end of itself, not because of the means of what it'll get you. If you do it from that frame, I promise you, it's less likely to happen anyways. The true way to go about this is to really look at the meaning of the relationship. What did you learn from it? And then let it go. And if it comes back, then you have something that you can then make a choice with later. If it doesn't, then you're in your own frame of reality. You're the star of your own movie. When it comes to what other people think, what are we afraid of losing if people think bad of us? Validation. If we are looking to other people for validation, then guess what happens? We are externalizing our happiness and our sense of worthiness. One of the best things you can possibly do is to give yourself validation, to give yourself that worthiness. Focus on things you like about yourself. And once again, be the star of your own movie. Then you carry a certain energy with you. And when you have that energy with you, you're more magnetic. And guess what? When you are unapologetically you, even if people don't agree with the way you're being, they will at least respect the fact that you are authentically being you. I share a lot of weird stuff on my YouTube channel. I remember when I first started sharing it, I was worried about what friends would think, what family would think. But guess what? I just more so embodied this unapologetic version of me. I was like, this is who I am. This is what I do. And guess what? Having that kind of loose energy where I'm not attached to what other people think made people say, you know, I don't necessarily understand what Aaron's talking about. I don't know if I agree with it, but he's doing his thing. He does his thing. And that's what I was doing. I was doing my thing. So for you, same thing. Just let go. Why are you attached? Why are you attached? Why are you attached to things? You are attached to things because you have a story that being attached to it makes you happy. You are attached to it because the rigidity of the mind is remaining rigid with the meaning that you have priorly given things. At some point in your past, you met with someone else. You may have banged it out. You may have had a relationship. Then what may have happened is you created this great meaning. I love you. You are great. We have this cool relationship where we bounce back and forth. And then what happens is as time went on, things started to fade. The bickering started to come out. You still bang it out every now and then, but then they'd argue and stuff. And then eventually you get to a point where you say, you know what? We're done. Or maybe one person says that and the other person doesn't. But regardless, now the reason it's hard for one person to not let go is because they made the meaning in the past that they felt certain and comfortable with. Said, the meaning is we are meant to be together. We're perfect, blah, 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 blah. And I don't want to change that meaning in my mind. Even though the meaning already exists inside of you. There's a story about that person that makes them a special little snowflake. And that story you don't want to let go of because of how meaningful it is. But guess what? One of the biggest things in life to understand is that life is fundamentally neutral. We give it meaning. We give it meaning. We get to decide if a rainy day is good or bad. We get to decide if losing the job was a good thing or a bad thing. Two people lose a job. One person said, this is the end of everything. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to sit at home, blah, blah, blah. The other person says, great, I hated that job. I'm going to now do something else. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go for my dreams. But same thing happened. Different meanings were given to it. So letting go is an attachment to the reasoning in the mind of why you should hold on. In this whole video, all I'm trying to do is convince you that it is time to let go, that when you let go, magic happens. When you do and think and feel the same emotions day in and day out, guess what you get? The same things day in and day out. Your mind can't create anything new because it's only in the habitual autopilot mind. But when you get into the unknown and then you give things new meaning, you create a new reality. Sadhguru, that enlightened guy on YouTube, most famous enlightened guy in the world probably. You want to know what he says? You want to know what enlightenment is? Enlightenment is going into every single situation as if you experienced it for the first time, without bringing the story and meaning of the past into it, just being present to the moment. When you are able to let go, you're also very present to the moment, because this moment is good enough already. You don't need to attach to the past. You don't need to try to make something of the future. You just are right now. The best thing you can possibly do is just let go. Let go of the stories you tell yourself about the limitations you have. Let go of the person that you think is bringing you all the happiness and you need to control what they're doing. Let go of control. Trying to control things is your desperate attempt at certainty. Let go of the story that you need everything to be controlled, and then you'll start to allow magic into your life. And as you allow magic into your life, you will find that everything in your life begins to change. It's because you're not chasing anything, because your cup is already full. So if you haven't seen it already, I have a Stop Chasing Love playlist, a Stop Chasing playlist in general. Click it right here. Check that out. Like this video if you liked it. Share it with other people, especially people that you know need to let go of something. I think it could change their life. And other than that, as always, I'll talk to you later. Peace, much love, and namaste.